everyone, how's it going? Matteo here with another Pioneer 1000 video. And today, it's another exciting day for me because I get to review Kemimoto's newly improved seat cover for the Honda Pioneer 1005 and the Honda Pioneer 1006. So this will fit the front seat on the 1005 model, and on the 1006 model, it will fit both the front and back seats according to Kemimoto. I've got the Pioneer 1005, so I'm going to get this thing unboxed and installed on my machine here. We're going to run through that process, take a look at that, and then I'm going to put it to the test. I've got a bunch of trees that fell down in the backyard here right on my trail, so I'm going to get those cleared out. I'm going to get nice, dirty, and sweaty and see how this seat cover holds up. And then I think I'm going to give my dog a ride. We'll give it the old canine test. We're going to see how this seat cover holds up on the day-to-day use, and I'll give you my thoughts on it. So stay tuned, let's get started. The great folks at Kemimoto were gracious enough to send this to me for testing today. So we're going to open it up, see what we got in the box. Okay. Sealed package here. Alright, and this looks like our seat cover. I'm guessing we're going to have one for the bench part, one for the back, and then the two headrests. Let's confirm my suspicions. Okay, headrest. Got some silica gel for moisture control. Alright, so that's what's in the box. Doesn't look like we had any directions included, but that being said, this looks pretty straightforward. There is a tag with some information on it. So you'll see one of these is going to be labeled as base, so that's going to be for where we sit, and the other one's labeled back. So if base is not clear enough, back is pretty self-explanatory. These are for the headrests. I'm going to pull the seat out of the machine here and kind of figure out how this is going to go on. One thing I want to point out, I've been advised by Kemimoto that they have revised this seat cover from an earlier design to have more elastic, and just want to make sure I'm showing everyone that this does feel very elastic and pliable, so I'm anticipating a nice quality fit and finish once this is installed on my machine. I'm going to start by installing the lower part of this seat cover on, which they describe as the base. So I'm going to pull the base seat out of my machine here. If you've never removed the seat in a Honda Pioneer before, it's rather easy. There's a handle in the center of the vehicle, and you just gently lift up on that latch, and then you can carefully lift upwards on the seat, and it will detach like so from the vehicle. Great time to clean out any mess you got in here. So now that I've got this seat out of here, I'm going to put it in my workshop so we can install. Now I'm looking at these headrests. I think we can keep these on. I don't think we're going to have to remove the headrests. So I'm going to pull off the seat back at this point just so I can do a nice clean install. The seat looks like it's held on by 5 10mm bolts. And those are going to zip right off. And you don't need a fancy impact driver. Using a little extension on this middle one. Got a whole lot of access in there. Once we've got those screws off, the back of our seat is going to just be able to come forward and out of the vehicle like so. I think it's a great time to put on our two headrests. You're going to notice the headrest, one side is a little bit wider than the other. Top of the headrest is a little bit wider than the bottom. So obviously our wide side is going to go on the top of our headrest. Piece of advice I do want to point out, you may be tempted to pull your headrests off during this installation process, but as you can see, the seat cover is going to block your access for the screws. So you'll want to resist the urge to do that, because you won't be able to resecure your headrest to the machine. So be sure, leave your headrests in place for this installation, and you'll just kind of have to work around it with it in place. Shouldn't be too difficult. And I would have to say, I think the headrests are the most difficult part of the install, just because they are very snug fitting. but with some patience, you can get them secured, no problem. We're gonna move on, do the seat back now. We gotta find our seat cover labeled back. Can be identified by the little tag found inside. I'm gonna undo my little Velcro clasps here. Looks like there's 4 of them. Pretty straightforward so far.
If you look carefully at the back seat cover stitching, you'll notice that it follows the contour of the back rest itself, and this can be used to help you properly orient the seat cover during installation.
Starting with one side of the seat cover, I'm going to just try to get it wrapped up here. And the other side. There's definitely plenty of elasticity to easily get this fitted without too much fuss. If your Velcro kind of got stuck inside, make sure you get them out into position. And now we're going to secure our Velcro straps here. And if you make these nice and snug, it'll help the seat cover fit well. Alright, there we go. We've done our headrests, we've done our seat back, and at this point we are ready to do the seat base. Now, there's not a whole lot of negative stuff I can say about my Honda Pioneer, but if there's one thing I can say that I'm really not too happy about as far as long-term durability is concerned, is the condition of my seat base. You can see the foam part has separated from the plastic base, and at this point I really think the only thing holding it on are these leather straps. So I'm on borrowed time with this, unfortunately. I don't know if they've revised this design in the newer Pioneers, but I think the OEM version of this seat from Honda leaves a little bit to be desired. So I am hopeful that this seat cover is going to help protect my seat. It's also going to help keep my seat together. Every time I roll the vehicle over, the seat flops over on me. It's like insult to injury. But seriously, let's get our cover on here. So if you're following along at home, the last component should be your seat base. And check that out by finding the little tag on the inside. I'm going to disconnect all my Velcro straps. 1, 2, I think that's more this one. 3, 4, 5. There's a little bit of contour this way, match the contour of the seat. Same thing, kind of just starting on one end. I'm gonna work the cover over. In this case, I don't think it's going to go over these tabs. Make sure your Velcro is not going to bind you up and fight you. And then as I work my way down, I'm going to flip it. Same thing as we did with the back. Here again, should be plenty of elasticity to get this into position where you need it. Very similar to our seat back. It is now time to secure the Velcro straps. Here again, you can snug up on them for a nice, neat looking install. And it'll help the seat cover kind of form to the contour of the seat. And I already know this is going to make my seat look a million times better. The way the seat is designed, there's almost like a rim that's formed by this plastic tray, the under, and I know if it rains or I drive through some water, I get water stuck up under my seat, and then it's squishing out for days on end. This seat cover, to me, is worth the value of not having to worry about that anymore. So I think that's going to completely eliminate that moisture problem I've had with the OEM design of the seat. And that really excites me, because that's a complaint I have. I'm ready to install the seat back. If you look on the back of the seat, you'll have this bolt on top. Also, the Honda word cast into the seat should face upwards. That's how you know you're orienting the seat properly. Be sure to go through your passenger side seat belt. Kind of rest that in place. From the back now, we're gonna install our hardware. We've got our 5 fasteners we removed. Start on one side here. I'm gonna do the other outside one to make sure my seat is properly aligned here. And then the other fastener should be a snap. And if you are using an impact driver like me, there's no reason to go crazy on the torque. Oop. Lastly, we're going to install our seat base. You'll see I've got all the seat belt receptacles in the upright position so that I can easily slide my seat in here. Your seat has these tabs. Those go on the back, face the rear of the vehicle. So just make sure when you're putting your seat bench on that your grommet for these posts on the vehicle is not covered up by your seat cover. You got them both exposed. So just like that, we should be good. These tabs are facing the rear of the vehicle. Make sure you orient your seat properly and it should just snap right into place. And it did. So there it is. So there's our newly installed seat cover. Looks good. The material looks like it's a heavy duty woven sort of nylon material. Kemimoto advised me it's spill proof. I'm already sweating in the hot Georgia sun. So we're gonna get this thing dirty. I'm gonna go chainsaw some logs out in the woods there. I'll take Sriracha the dog for a spin too, and we'll see how this holds up with some pet passenger activity. So stay tuned. It is time to do some work out back, and I wouldn't normally store my chainsaw up front here, but I figured what better way to put this thing to the test. You can see it's already weeping some oil. Whoopsies. I've got my drink up there. So before we get Sriracha the dog on board here, I did want to try to clean up this oil, and I want to see how easy it is to clean up. I've just got a spray bottle with some dish soap and water. I'm just going to wipe that clean. Yeah, that's impressive. That cleaned right up. During the installation part of the video, I voiced my chief concern with the whole vehicle in general, in that I felt the seat design is not on par with the quality of the rest of the vehicle, and I cited the fact that the cushion is becoming detached from this plastic support for the bench seat, and the fact that this plastic support for the bench seat actually forms a tray for liquid to get caught up in under the cushion, and that results in water being trapped under here. When people sit on the seat, it squishes out and it's like days later. So it's kind of like annoying. I'm looking at this seat cover and I'm pretty confident that's going to solve actually both of those problems. The seat cushion flopping around is not really an apparent issue to me at this point, because the seat cushion and the plastic support for the bench seat are now kind of very well supported with this seat cover in place. And I'm pretty sure if you spill water or go through mud, it's not going to get in your seat cushion anymore. I'm really happy about that. That's well worth purchasing this product, in my opinion. I'm really glad Kemimoto reached out to me to test this out, because that really crosses off one of my biggest pet peeves with this vehicle. So the way this fabric seems to be woven is that water just beads up on it and cleans right up. It's that part of the show where I'm gonna put it to the Sriracha the Dog Test. Ladies and gentlemen, Sriracha the Dog. Sriracha the Dog, come on up. Come on, don't be shy. Get up on that seat. Good girl. Hey. This is not an improved means of transport. And you got fur all over and everything. As you can see, my brief outing with Sriracha the Dog has resulted in plenty of dirt and dog hair on this brand new seat cover. But as you can see, it held up quite nicely. Let's see how cleanup is. Cleanup's a snap. I didn't even have soap on that rag, just a damp cloth. And the mess wipes right up. It's pretty nice. Well, there we have it, folks. That's the Kemimoto seat cover for the Pioneer 1005 and both the front and back seats of the Pioneer 1006. Overall, I'm impressed with the quality of the product. The material, easy to clean, durable, seems to be reasonably waterproof too. So it's a great addition to your vehicle. You're definitely going to keep your seats, the factory seats, in good condition if you ever want to sell the vehicle. But here again, the point that I like to bring up is these really improve what I feel is a rather big design flaw in the OEM Honda seats. The OEM Honda seat has a tendency to collect water. In my case, the cushion has a tendency to disconnect from the plastic base. This seat cover solved both those problems. So that fact alone is enough for me to highly recommend the product. Got a link where you can buy this product in the video description, and be sure to check out Kemimoto's website for the other range of products they make for the Pioneer series. If you've enjoyed this video, be sure to like and subscribe, and thank you for watching. Till next time, Mario out.